morning and welcome to Control. My name is Jeanette, coming to you from Club Pilates, Palm Springs and Rancho Mirage, and we're going to do a 30-minute class focused on lower body and torso, abdominals, and back, all working at the same time, hopefully. And we're going to start with some stretches. So I want you, we're going to stay standing to start. And I want you to take your right foot forward and bend your knee slightly, having your knee directly over the ankle. And then I want you to look at your left foot and make sure all 5 toes are at 12 o'clock. It's natural for this foot to turn out, for the whole leg to turn out, but we don't want it to. So find your calf stretch in the back left leg. So maybe this spread is too little. Maybe you need your legs further apart. Just make sure you're keeping that left foot at 12 o'clock, feeling that calf stretch already. And then you have a long lean from the back of that left foot all the way to the top of the head. Let's go ahead and take our fingertips approximately top of the head height, arms extended, yet shoulders retracted. We're going to hip hinge forward with our neutral spine. So we're not rounding the back, and pause. Feel that stretch in the glute and the hamstring. Exhale with your neutral spine coming back up and come all the way up to vertical, feeling the stretch in the left front of the hip. Now rotate towards your right leg, feeling a little more stretch there. Press that left heel down. So hip flexor and calf in the left foot. Rotate back. Now let's find a rhythm for 4 more. So we're going to inhale as we come down, exhale as we come up, inhale and exhale. So we have 3 more. So remember to keep that spine in neutral. That's one of the things that will enhance these stretches for you. And then the left foot directly parallel with the right, even though they are hip joint or wider apart in width. This is the last one. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing the other direction. So find the distance between the feet by how much stretch you feel on the right calf, the back foot, and then make sure it's at 12 o'clock. Take those hands approximately top of the head height. Press that heel down. Find your neutral. So your pubic bone, hip bones on that diagonal level. Your low back is in its natural lumbar curve. Whatever that is for you, your abs are in. Tighten up your arms. Hip hinge forward. Pause here as we did. Our abs are in. We feel a glute stretch. We feel a hamstring stretch. And that knee is right over the ankle. Exhale as you come back up, and then come all the way to vertical now without adding an arch to your back. Rotate toward your front thigh, the left one, and come back. And let's get 4 more. So we have a calf stretch, a glute, a hamstring stretch. We come up, continue the calf stretch, and feel the hip flexor stretch. And let's get 3 more here. You would think I would be able to count to 5, but some days I don't seem to be able to. Sorry about that. But as long as your stretches are feeling good, and of course you can go at your own pace. You don't have to stay right with me. Holds are sometimes nice because we really get to feel the stretch then. And come back to center. Circle those shoulders, and then bring those feet together. Let's go ahead and bend the knees a little. Tuck the pelvis under now. So now we're taking that lumbar curve out, and we're going to slide our forearms down our thighs, almost to our knees. Now our body weight isn't on our thighs. Just our forearms are gently resting there, maybe a little bit of body weight. Tailbone is tucked under, chin is tucked under, shoulders are rounding down. Feel the stretch in your back, and then start to sway your hips and knees right and left, allowing that release or stretch going to the right and left of the low back. Now we don't try to do any of these stretches super intensely when we're first starting because we're not warmed up yet, unless you've been doing something before you joined class. And then go ahead and come up. Once your body's warmed up, you can go a little more intensely with this stretching as we do at the end of class. So now go ahead and take the outsides of your feet about the width of the outside of the body. It doesn't have to be exact. And we're going to do some warm-up squats here. So we're just going to take our tailbone back and then push through our heels. So as we do this, our thighs and our torso become symmetrical, right? So we look kind of like a V on its side from the knees to the shoulders. So we're just warming up here, pressing in the heels. I actually have my toes lifted off the floor, balls of the feet in contact with the floor. Give me 2 more. Just warming up those thighs, warming up the glutes. Abs are probably already warmed up from all that holding we did in the stretches. Now let's get a little warm up in the inner thigh and the stretching too. So we're going to take those feet open wherever it feels right for our body. Probably not 9 and 3 o'clock though, even though I know some of you guys can go there. We want to feel the stretch, but the work too. So find a place where you can have your knees almost over your ankles. I see I have to go a little bit wider with my feet to really get that to happen. And then you're in neutral here. So we're not taking our tailbone back like we just were on the squats, and we're just opening up the groin and inner thigh area. And now we're going to come up and down in mid-range. So I'm not going all the way up, not coming all the way down. Give me 3 more here. Just kind of warming up those inner thighs. And then come on up. So now let's get a rhythm to our lower body work in our squat. So we're going to do sets of 8, full range, mid-range, and pulses. So we're going to go back to the feet, hip width apart. Abs are in, we're in neutral, and we're going to start with our full range. So our heels come down, or excuse me, our heels stay down and our bottom comes down. And we press against the heels as we go up, tightening our glutes, tightening the hamstrings and quads. In other words, your rear end and all around your thigh. And then from here, after this 8th one, we're going to find the mid-range. So not all the way down and not all the way up. And the pace is about the same. It's shorter, but it's not faster. We got 3 more here. Still pressing into the heels, still keeping those abdominals in and having that lean. Now find the center, find the halfway point, and give me 8 pulses here, small and faster. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, press up, bring your feet together, same pattern. 8, full range here. And we're keeping our knees together, keeping our inner thighs together, pressing through the heels. We're still making that V, that symmetry of a V between our torso and our thighs, but we may not be going as deep with the knees together. Now we're going into mid-range. So we're not going all the way down and we're not coming all the way up. We're keeping that contraction in our glutes the whole time. Feel how the place in the glutes with the legs together, the muscle is more centered in the glute, and this should be a little lower on your quadriceps, your front thigh. And then we're going to find that halfway point, keep those abs in. By the way, if your low back is feeling stressed, just come a little out of your neutral, not to a full imprint, and give me 8 pulses here. 8, 7, 6, 5, squeeze, 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 and release. And shake that out. And now we're going to do our wide squats. So these are squats also, they're not plies like we did in the warm-up. We're not turning out all the way for the inner thigh. But if you want to go toes out just a little, like 1 minute before 12 and 1 minute after, that's cool. And then your feet are definitely a lot wider than your body. And then you're taking that symmetry in your torso. By the way, hands and arms or whatever's comfortable for you. Keep your upper body engaged. Keep those glutes working, purposely squeezing extra. And now we have our mid-range. So we're not coming all the way up. We're not going all the way down. Our abs are in. We're going at about the same pace as the previous. We have 3 more here. And then we'll go into those pulses. Press into your heels. Now find the center movement and pulse. So it's fast, but it's controlled. No momentum, no bouncing, pulsing. And then hold and press up. Now open your feet for the plies, and now our spine is vertical. It's still in neutral as it was for the squats, but we want our ears, shoulders, and hips in line, and knees as best as we can over the ankles with a little bit of turnout. So we have full range here, and we're gonna go ahead and straighten those knees all the way. Tighten the thighs as you do this. Feel your glutes, the 2 halves of your bottom, pulling toward each other as you come up all the way. And now let's go into mid-range. So we're not coming up quite all the way. Those knees are staying bent each time. By the way, I'm doing 8 of each of these. So if you want a little different pace in mind, just come for yourself. Keep those abs in. And now we got our pulses. So find that center, check your vertical neutral, and give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, abs are in, and come up. Now stay in your plie position after you shake it out, and then take your right heel up. And see that you can kind of be on the center of the ball of the foot, not rolling into your big toe nor out to your outer foot here. And feel how that unevenness is just a little different. So let's just go down a little bit more. Feel how that quad is working a little bit more. By the way, how high you lift your heel is up to you. Pay attention to your ankle here. This is calf work, but the ankle is definitely involved. And I find where I put mine now, which is just a couple inches off the floor, my leg is definitely shaking, and that's okay. Let's go a little lower, but I'm going to take my heel a little higher, and that takes the shake out of it. So you might have to find that for your own body too. Well, it sort of takes the shake out of it. And we're just holding here, tightening up, pulling those abs in, breathing deeply, drop that heel. And now we're going to kind of take our feet a little bit wider, and we're going to go right and left. Now we're feeling full pressure on the heel, the toes, and the balls of the feet on both of these. Let's do 3 more here, feeling a little bit of a stretch and feeling the working too, squeezing our bottom. And then we're going to pulse in the middle, up and down, not right and left. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Lift the opposite foot. For me, it's the left one. And again, we're holding. So abdominals are in, check your neutral. If you have a mirror, you can look in to make sure your ears, shoulders, and hips are all aligned. And the same thing on that left foot. So I feel myself rolling onto my inner foot right now, so I need to adjust so that I'm more on the center of the ball of the foot and still keeping the knee over the ankle. So find where you are. And then just hold that. Let's come just a little lower. Let's feel that work throughout the legs, a little more in the left leg. And then we're here, we're holding, we're strong. And then we're gonna drop that heel. And then we're gonna go back and forth, left and right. By the way, if this hurts your knee, use a smaller range of motion or take your legs further apart. Keep your abs in, keep your chest lifted. And then we're gonna hold in the center, find your neutral again, and give me pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and press yourself up, squeezing your bottom, straightening your legs, and bringing them in and shaking them out. Nice job. All right, we're gonna work a little outer thigh now. Not that we weren't already, but we're gonna target the outer thigh. So I want you to put your body weight on the left foot with a slight bend in the knee so that leg is fully engaged, but you're not going into a single leg squat. It's just a slight bend in the knee. And then take your right foot out to the side and flex it so it's now hovering off of the floor. Feel that work in the glute, the outer thigh. Turn your toe in a little bit. By the way, if you need to balance, I'm just taking my hand to the wall behind me right now, just a very light touch to help me with balance. You can do the same thing, and a toe tap to the floor will often kind of reground you. Feel that work as we're holding here. And then we're going to go 8, 7, 6. Notice I'm never bringing my foot down to the floor unless I need a balance touch. We have 3 more here. We're going to skip the mid-range and go straight to pulses here. Flex foot, toe in, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and take a rest. Shake that out. We're going to stretch after we do the other side, but if you need to stretch now, feel free. I'm going to move over so I can touch the pole if I need to for balance. So get your right knee slightly bent, lift your left leg, rotate. So there's just this little bit of internal rotation. And so holding, because we held on the other side. So find that pressure on your right foot, the one you're standing on, so that it's even. And keep that left foot slightly rotated internally. You're gonna feel your body naturally just let it go because it's more work to hold this. So just stay there, neutral. And then we're gonna go singles for 8. 8, 7, 6, 5. You can toe tap for balance also, or hold on to something. Give me 2 more. And then we're gonna pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and take a rest. Good, shake that out. I wanna go ahead and sit on the floor now and stretch a little bit out of the outer thigh and glutes from all that glute work, and then we're gonna do earthquake to start for our abdominals. So take your feet a little bit away from you. Legs are kind of elongated longer than if we were lying down to do abdominals. Just relax the body for a moment. And now come into neutral, bend your elbows, get your shoulders down. Take your right ankle and place it on your left thigh. And then bring your left leg closer to you, wherever that is for you. Left foot, left knee, left shoulder, all lined up. Now, your right knee may very well be coming towards your shoulder. If it is, just using your muscles, try to press it so that the knee and the ankle are lined up. And that's a targeted goal. That doesn't have to happen today. But feel how that increases the stretch. And then when you do that, your left knee may go in. So keep it lined up with your shoulder. Now, as is appropriate for your body, you're going to start to walk your chest closer to your shin, keeping both halves of your bottom on the floor. Don't let them lift. You'll feel a weight distribution change here. Take as much weight out of your hands as possible. Keep your abs in. And then start to walk your hands back, leaning back, extend your left leg, and let's do the same thing on the other. So our right leg is nice and long. We have all the joints and the shoulder, all the leg joints and the shoulder lined up. We take the left ankle, put it on the thigh. We bring it closer. And then again, check that knee. So everybody, maybe not everybody, but my body definitely has imbalances, and most people do. So I can see my left knee is much closer to my shoulder, which means my left glute is tighter. So I need to just think about pushing it away and then finding my neutral, because I see my body already went into imprint, which is more comfortable. But there's more work in neutral, so I want to feel that for my stretch. And then we start to walk our body closer. And we want our stretch to be a little uncomfortable, but not to hurt. Now check your right ankle and knee and shoulder and make sure they're all still lined up. Pull your abs in. Take some of your weight out of your hands and put it back in your glutes. Feel that stretch. And then go ahead and lean back and take your legs out in front of you. So hopefully that was a good glute stretch for you. Again, a little bit of discomfort in that stretching is okay, but never any pain, and definitely not discomfort in the joint, only discomfort in the muscle. So keep that in mind when you're stretching. Now we're going to go into earthquake. Our feet are comfortable wherever they are with our legs extended. We're going to find our neutral. I'm just going to move my arms so you can see. You can put your arms wherever you like. But we're going to find our neutral, which means our rib cage is not going toward our hip bones or our pelvis, but we're nice and lifted. And then we're going to lean back at about the diagonal of an X. And we're just going to hold that. So let's take our arms out now, parallel to our thighs. Retract our shoulders. In other words, don't round your back because that will drop your rib cage also. So make sure, again, that your rib cage has stayed lifted and you're in neutral. You're going to feel a little quadricep and hip flexor work here. Find, I'm going to lean back just a little more. So I'm kind of between my tailbone and my sit bones on my balancing. And that way I feel more in my abs, making sure my rib cage is lifted. So we want to find why they call it earthquake. So hopefully you're finding that. Feeling a little bit of trembling in those muscles. If not, make sure your shoulders are retracted and your rib cage is lifted. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Go ahead and pull yourself up. Round your back. Tuck your tailbone under it. Tuck your chin. Get a back stretch here. And then release. And now we're going to progress it for those who want to. For those who don't want to, just stay with that last move where we were. Everybody's going to start there. Now we're going to we're going to take one arm up to the ceiling and then back down. The other arm up to the ceiling and back down. So make sure you found that working place in your abdominals where you can hold neutral. Now, if you want a little more here, you can also take both arms up to the ceiling. And just watch your neck. Your neck might start to tighten up, and so you might want to go back to single arm. And then you can also take a leg up and switch. And give me one more set. And then release and round your back. And then let's get a full leg back of the leg stretch here. Excuse me. So extend your ankles so your heels are kind of going away from you, even though you're not using your shin muscles to flex. So those back of the ankles are nice and elongated. And then wiggle your bottom so your sits bones are going away from the rest of your leg. And then grab onto your legs and start to bend your elbows and pull yourself. So hopefully you're feeling both hamstring stretch, back of the thigh, and back stretch here. Now slide your shoulders down and then start to elongate your spine. Now tighten your quads, pressing your knees down, keeping your abs in. See how that adds to your stretches. Now flex your ankles a little bit and point. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, it doesn't take much flexion for my calves to really feel the stretch. So I want you to continue this very slowly, finding the best spot for your body today. It's not always the same. And you continue to pull your chest towards your thighs. One more. Release the tension in the legs. Slowly come back up. And then we're going to take our hands under our shoulders, fingertips the same direction as our feet are, bending our elbows back. Find your neutral now. And we're going to stretch the front shoulders since we're here. Just start to bend your elbows. And your shoulders are slightly retracted just normal neutral here. Now I want you to pull your abs in and take that body weight out of your hands and just keep going back and feel that stretch. So we're definitely working our abs, but we're also feeling a stretch in the front of the shoulder. And you can have your chin down or neutral or let it hang a little. See what's right for your neck. My neck's kind of tight today, so I'm actually going to lift my chin a little to loosen a neck muscle that is not happy. And then we're going to press ourselves up. And let's go ahead and rotate our face left and right twice just to kind of loosen that neck up a little bit. And now we're going to plank. So let's roll over and we're going to, I'm going to show it on forearms and feet. You can go knees, you can go hands, whatever's best for you. Let's go feet together because I am going to have you lift a leg if you choose to do so. So you're up on your forearms. Your hands can be palms down or they can be palms toward each other, whatever works for you. But I want a little bit of pressure throughout the forearm, not just all your body weight in your elbows. Now, check that you're on the balls of both feet. Check your neutral. By the way, if your low back is bothering you, either take your hips up a little or tuck under, squeezing your lower abdominals to do that. Now take your left leg up, point and flex 5 times. Notice the left foot doesn't come very high. Feel the right quad working like crazy. Put that left foot back down. Balance on both feet. Take a break whenever you need. Right leg comes up, the toes as high as the back of the heel. Tighten that leg, press that heel away from you. Point and flex 5 times. Breathe. Slide your shoulders down. And put that foot down and drop to your knees. Let's go ahead and go into child's pose here. Feel free to separate your knees here. Now I like my hands, right now I have my hands right by my knees so I can press against the floor, almost giving a little traction length in my back and tucking my chin under. Some people like to have arms extended and then you get more lat stretch, but a little bit less low back stretch. So find what's best for you. And then come on up. And we got one more plank. So I'm going to go on hands this time. We're going to do a little bit of leg movement on this one too, if you choose. If you have wrist issues, just stay on forearms. Totally works for here. Let's go ahead and spread our fingers and kind of round the insides of our palms away from the floor to take some of the pressure out of the wrists. Come on up on both feet with feet together again. Now we're going to take the left leg up and without flex foot, and we're going to abduct. So our knee and toe stay toward the floor. Our elbows are slightly bent, by the way. And we got 5 of those. And then that foot goes down, and then we take the opposite one up. I'm going to move away from the wall here a little bit. And we take the opposite one up, and we abduct. So feel the outside of the thigh. Feel the glutes, feel the left quad working, abdominals in, shoulders down, away from the ears, toward the hips. And then take that back and release. Let's go into a cat stretch this time. So find your balance on both knees. I'm switching my hands just to be light on the backs of my hands instead of my palms. Take some pressure off my wrists. Abdominals in, abdominals are holding the body weight, not the hands, abdominals and knees. And then take your bottom halfway to your feet. And then come back up to all fours and straighten. Tuck under, feel the upper back. Take your bottom halfway to your feet. Keep the abs in, feel the lower back. And if your arms are elongated here, you'll feel a little bit of the lat stretch, very light, more than likely. And then come back to cat and straighten. Let's do that one more time. So round the back, feel the upper back. Keep that position. Bring the pelvis halfway to the feet, feel the lower back. A little bit of the outer shoulder and the lats here. come back to cat, and this time straighten. And let's go ahead and bring our hands close to our knees, tuck under into cat again, and this time we're going to articulate up. And we're going to go ahead and get a hip flexor stretch here. So let's take our right foot forward. By the way, this can be done standing just like we did in the warm-up if you're kind of uncomfortable kneeling this long. Take your right foot forward at the knee, of the right knee, and then lean forward. And feel that elongation, maybe even in the front of the thigh. Let's keep our torso up today. So our hands are on the thigh rather than where I have you sometimes on the forearms. And then press that left hip kind of down and tighten that glute, pull your abs in. Feel how that stretches in the front of the pelvis on the left side there. Your left foot can be elongated with the top of it down, or you can be in the plank toes with flexed toes, whatever's comfortable and helps you balance. And then push yourself back, and let's do the other side. So you're going to take your left foot forward, ankle forward of the knee, and then you're going to lean, nice long body lean from the back knee to the top of the head. And we have our hands on so that we're going to truly stay in neutral. And then we tighten up our abs, tighten up the right half of our bottom, and press, like we're trying to press that thigh bone deeper into the floor, like it's really pushing. And feel how that adds to your stretch, not only in the front of the hip joint, but hopefully even on the right quad. And then go ahead and push yourself back.